Well, here's where I'll give a shout out to the Open Technology Fund, which brought us here today, and a lot of the other U.S. government funded and European government funded internet freedom programs. There's a strong goal there to have free and open source software solutions. This is what, if you look at what most technology is actually built on today, is the Linux operating system, which is free and open source software. And Android is built on Debian Linux. And there are, that is one model that has really been successful in countries where you need an economic alternative to a commercial license. Now, in the case of Huawei and infrastructure, they do participate in international standards bodies. They go to these meetings. They want to be accepted on the world stage. And I think that's where there can be pressure through things like message layer security, which is a global standard for doing what Signal does, basically, but in text messaging everywhere, right? There's the RCS system that Google's been really pushing, say, Apple to adopt. That has encryption built in. So there's ways to, create standards, create pressure, create free and open alternatives like Linux, and free and open app stores like one that we built called F-Droid, that can compete on price, essentially, because then what you're talking about is not paying for software licenses, but you're paying to do skill building in areas and build careers for people. The other thing that we've been working on quite a bit, especially for places like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, is alternate internet infrastructure. So in the news, you might hear about Elon Musk and starry satellites and things like this, Starlink, actually. There's a lot of other work in communities that either don't have connections, or where the internet's very expensive, or where the internet's surveilled or being shut down. And so there's work we do building off-grid internet solutions, peer-to-peer networks, mesh networks between mobile phones. As I often say, our phones are supercomputers. Yeah. They can do so much. They have like a Bluetooth radio, an NFC radio, Wi-Fi radios, LTE radios. If they were sort of open to do anything you'd want, each of those phones could be a server that could broadcast information, right? So there are ways to compete when it comes to providing free access. There is work being done with using spare satellite channels to beam information into Iran, for instance. There's work we've done with sneaker nets in Cuba and providing free content access to information there for activists. So there's the one way of competing by creating an alternative market, pressuring with international standards, and then supporting tools for activists and journalists and others.